Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video and my flabby arms. I just started doing weights not too long ago, so I'm starting to lose a little bit of weight, but I'm still like super flabby and stuff, so don't mind that. Also, in case you're wondering what shadow this is, it is from the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. I've actually been really enjoying it, so I can't wait to do some slaying shades with it. Today I wanted to talk about like my final thoughts on this whole Jaclyn Hill, Jaclyn Cosmetics situation. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I only did one other video on this, and I believe it was either like right before or right after she did her awful My Lipsticks video. Now, there are some really great channels out there, like Tea by Allie, and The Viewer's Voice, you know, Nick Snyder, that really like kind of dive deep into you know, the contracts and LLC stuff, business stuff. Is this owned by Morphe? Like all of these like deep dive kind of investigative stuff. And I am addicted to these videos. And it's very quite interesting what people have discovered and what has come out about that aspect of it. But I am, like Rich Luck said in one of his recent videos, more of like on the surface, you know, talking about things, because those people are handling their investigation really well into everything about the brand and everything that went wrong. And I just want to touch on, you know, leave that for them because they're so good at it, and just touch upon more of like the surface of the situation. And, you know, this all started with, I think, Veronica's tweet about her lipsticks and Jaclyn having this attitude, this response of basically saying that she needs to exfoliate her lips. People weren't believing a lot of these pictures that were coming out at first of how bad of quality these lipsticks were. A lot of us suspected, since we had seen the actual component for like a few years ago, that these were expired lipsticks. And now it seems like this lab is also an issue. There's a great YouTuber called Cassandra Bankson. I will leave a link to one of her videos down below, where her and a few other people have sort of narrowed down this lab, you know, what they think. They think this is the lab that she used, where you can see a stray dog like wandering through the factory. They point out that in her video where she's in a lab, there's a lot of comparisons, and that's why they think this is the lab. There have been complaints against this lab. They have manufactured other cosmetic brands. You know, an FDA report was done about, I believe, like some kind of unsanitary conditions. It's just crazy. So I'm going to leave her video down below. I think there may be some type of legal situation going on with her right now. I haven't watched anything else but those two videos to really be caught up on everything. But if indeed this is the lab, wow. If this is, you know, Kevin James Bennett had tweeted at Marlena Stell, it's not that lab you're thinking of, it's the other lab. So maybe this is the lab. If so, gross. So this could be, you know, a plethora of things of why this shit went so wrong. But in Jaclyn's My Lipsticks video, she blames everything. She blames everybody and everything but herself. She does say, oh, I take accountability. But so it doesn't really matter that you just said I'm sorry or I take accountability, because then you put a but there, and that just kind of erases that whole statement. It was climate change, that's why they were coming melted, and you're supposed to cool them off for a certain amount of time. And I remember leaving a comment on a video because I had ordered quite a few of the lip ammos from Jeffree Star. They sat outside underneath my window because they weren't on the doorstep. I don't know why they left them under my bedroom window. And they were out there for a while, like more than a day, and they weren't like that. And this was during the summer, so I don't know. But usually when you purchase a product, like, you're not an idiot and you know that lipsticks may melt if they're setting out for a while, but you don't typically need instructions on how long to cool a product for and how long it's going to take you to dig out hairs, which some have confirmed are animal hairs, or picking out pieces of metal. This is absolutely ridiculous. And she didn't touch on those. Now, in her video, she talks about these cotton gloves, which from our knowledge so far, they only use to put the cap on the component. They're not actually used while creating these lipsticks. Excuse me. And then there's this whole thing where they take a white towel and they're cleaning out these big vats, which a lot of people are like, there's no way that this would happen. Like they don't, that's not what they do. They use a mixture of like alcohol and something else and run that through. And that's, you know, supposed to sanitize everything. So everything, all the excuses that she gave were pretty much like debunked, even really the white gloves, because in her videos about the lab, everybody was wearing standard blue gloves. But she didn't really touch on the black part of the bubbles, the actual like mold looking stuff, or actual, like, these are not fuzzies. These are long white hairs. It's not like a little piece of lint. You know what I mean? So she just kind of glossed over a lot of stuff. It was nice that she was offering people a full refund, even if they didn't want a new lipstick, you know, that they were sending out some anyway. Unfortunately for them, a lot of those replacement lipsticks were as bad or even worse. Now, I did see, quite a few comments of people saying that they love their lipsticks. However, it was kind of odd because I don't remember if it was on Jaclyn Hill's Instagram or Jaclyn Cosmetics Instagram, but I know, and I wish I was on my phone so I could have taken a screenshot, but I was just perusing. But there was a girl that talked about how her lipsticks were perfect. She bought the whole collection. They were absolutely amazing. And a few people asked her to post pictures of her lipsticks. And then those comments were deleted. So like, it's weird. You know what I mean? It almost seemed like some people just wanted to say that they got it and that everything was like really great, but they were just doing that to kind of like help Jaclyn, when in actuality, they did not pay for it. Allegedly, my conspiracy theory, because it's odd that they would like, or that they would delete like those certain comments, and that it seemed like weirdo, like random accounts that didn't really seem like, that weren't on Instagram for like a long time, you know, were commenting this stuff. And it's not unusual for brands to do that kind of stuff, especially when you're getting so much bad publicity and bad reviews on something like this, to kind of like try to fluff it up a bit, which is disgusting for everybody. She's not the only one that does it. But when you have such a serious contamination issue like this, and what really bothered me about that video is her saying these are not contaminated. They are contaminated. Any kind of foreign thing in these, even if it was just your cotton gloves, that's still contamination, and it isn't okay. And she still reiterated the fact that, oh, they're safe to use, and they are still saying this, and it's ridiculous. I mean, I wouldn't put that shit on my lips. I'm sorry. And a lot of things are FDA approved. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if all of your ingredients are FDA approved. Look at what's in these lipsticks. You know what I mean? And her lack of like giving a shit, and it's so clear in that My Lipsticks video. I don't know how anybody supports her. I don't know how anybody could trust her. I don't know how people could stick up for her. There's stands saying, oh, you're just jealous. Who in their right mind would be jealous of Jaclyn Hill, but especially right now? No, we are wanting accountability. And as a CEO of her own brand now, not being able to hide behind Morphe, although it's alleged that Morphe actually owns Jaclyn Cosmetics, you know, but having to be out there, like, how she's acting is like a little bitch. She just ran away. Now she's like in hiding. And I love Enriched Lux in his Jaclyn videos. So it'll be like 24/7 YouTube drama watch. Yeah. That always like gets stuck in my head. But it's like, girl, all you had to do was say, I went with this lab because it was cheap and that's how I am. I want all the money for myself, and they were going to do it quickly or whatever it was. You know what I mean? And this is what ended up happening. And I'm sorry, I care more about money than you, because that's the truth. She does. And in that one, I don't know if it was like an Instagram story or like a Snapchat or whatever, when she was like, oh, I miss you guys and I love you guys so much. And it doesn't matter if 100 and some thousand people loved my lipstick. If 3 people don't like it, that's not right. That's not okay with me. You have your numbers mixed up, sweetie. There were more people that had issues than that didn't have issues, you know? And the people that didn't have issues were really fucking quite mean to the people that did. Like, it was their fault that they had these shitty lipsticks. Like, they just want to ruin Jaclyn Hill. You know, that's what people want to do. People wake up in the morning just wanting to ruin her. Give me a break. So her attitude, her lack of accountability, and the coincidence of when her own lab testing report came back that she paid like $400 for out of her own pocket, when those results came out negative for like mold and certain things that would be hazardous to maybe people that are like immunocompromised, it was like the next day that Jaclyn and her team released her stuff, you know, her own lab testing, which is crazy because she said she was spending over hundreds of thousands of dollars to get these tested at all these different labs when it only costs $400 for Kenna to do it. It's just crazy. Then comes Jaclyn's mom. I guess she thought maybe she would save the day. No, Jaclyn always acts like the victim. You are not the victim in this situation, Jaclyn. And from the way her mom comes across, maybe that's why she lacks so much self-awareness, because clearly her mother does as well. And her mom comes out with this statement on Instagram about how much she loves you guys and that, you know, she's okay, but she's just dealing with so much. You know, it's not like she wasted $333 of her own money and got this shit, or cut her lip, or found hair and all this stuff in lipsticks. You know what I mean? Give me a break. Fuck her, you know, and her feeling sad. Look at what she's done to so many people. Anyway, so somebody had responded to her mom's post and was like, you know, I was such a huge fan of hers. This just doesn't seem right, like how she's handling things. It was a really long message. And her mom replied, are you done now? Like, if you're done, why are you here? Like, attitude. Like, this is crazy. That's not how you respond to somebody that's a customer and a fan. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. So if anything, her mom just made this situation like 10 times worse. I mean, you have somebody, and a lot of these people, you know, all her stands are like people are just trying to ruin her. But all of these people that bought these lipsticks were fans of Jaclyn Hill. I'm not a fan of Jaclyn Hill. I didn't purchase anything from Jaclyn Cosmetics. 1, don't trust her. 2, had a sneaky suspicion that this was going to happen, not on this grand scale, not this crazy, but every single launch that she's involved with has an issue, and she is the constant. It's either her or Morphe, but she still had issues with Becca. It's her. I feel like she isn't passionate about makeup. That's why she doesn't give a shit about the quality of products. She wants the money. That's why she didn't send PR out to any influencers. It wasn't some kind of shipping error. Give me a break. Because she knew damn well if her mom, her sister, and friends had been using these lipsticks, and clearly there is a video of her picking a hair out of her own lipstick, they knew these reviews are going to be shit. We got all this product. We need to do something. Let's just say something happened to the PR, and that way there aren't any reviews and we can gather up all this money before people start coming out about it. I don't think that they even realized how bad it was going to get, where they were going to lose a ton of money, but they're acting like they're the victims for having to lose money for putting out a total shit quality product because it either sat there or it sat there and the factory sucked and she just didn't give a shit. You know, this was money over quality, money over her fans. She does not love you. She does not care about you. I mean, come on. Like, what more evidence do you need? You know, and the way that she is just hiding from social media, it's a real pussy move. I'm sorry. It just really, really is. Now, if she would have come out and said, I went with this lab and I thought because they were going to do it quick and cheap, that would be the way to go because I care about money and this is what ended up happening and I'm sorry and I'm going to try to do better, maybe some people could, you know, trust in her again. But she is never real. I don't think that she can be a real person. There's always something coming out of her mouth that is either an exaggeration, an outright lie, something to gain sympathy for her, a reason why, you know, she is manipulating you. She wants you to believe that she loves you and cares about you, and she does shit like this. No, like, this is ridiculous. And she doesn't even have the balls to just be present like a CEO would. And she is a perfect example of, even though she's new as a CEO of a brand, Jared Blandino is another great example of this. Even Jeffree Star, for some people, whether you like him or not, that's up to you. This is why people care about how CEOs behave. This is why people care about who owns a brand and whether or not they're going to purchase from it. This is the kind of shit. This is why, because of her attitude, because of her her blaming a customer and fan for what was wrong with her own product. You know, Jared Blandino, he's just another level of like douchebag, but you know what I mean? Like, that's why a lot of people pay attention to owners of brands, because we don't want to support shitty people. And she is a shitty person. I don't know how she's going to come back from this. I'm surprised that she has not lost more followers on YouTube, actually. Subscribers rather. It's amazing to me. Like, I just don't understand how anybody could believe a word that comes out of her mouth. We're talking about years of lies, from all the Morphe Vault stuff to her being on food stamps to her not knowing that she recorded Kathleen Light saying the N-word twice. She didn't hear it. She didn't even know. That's bullshit too, by the way. She's just a bad person. I think that, you know, this is all about the money. And I wouldn't even care if Morphe was a part of this company. But the fact that if that is true, she went through great lengths to hide that fact, that's shady. But I wouldn't care if she would come out and say that, as long as you cared enough to put out a quality product. Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you where you are a CEO of a brand and you talk about all these people getting fired for things like this? Give me a break. When you are the CEO of a brand and you say that you worked on this for 5 years, that you put your heart and your soul into this, that this is your passion, and you come up with this shit and then you're going to act like a victim. No, ma'am. I'm sorry. I can't believe more people aren't pissed off. I know this is like old tea or like whatever. It's just, I had to get this little rant out because I'm just stunned. You know, I didn't expect her to just disappear, you know, and every time they try to come out with some other excuse, everybody's able to debunk it. You know what I mean? Just give us the truth. Just be honest for once in your goddamn life, you know? Anyway, these are just my thoughts on this whole situation. I don't know what's going to happen. When she comes back, maybe I'll do a video. I'm not sure. I can't stand people that could do something like this. And you know, it was because of money or because they already had this product sitting around, whatever it was, that the money mattered more than actual people. And that's really fucking shitty. So this is my opinion. You guys let me know what you think down below, and subscribe if you want to. Thank you for watching. Follow me on Twitter if you want, and I will see you guys next video. Love and hugs. Bye.